I'm back with another video about the Tyler Robinson thing. I think this is the third video. I did say that I had watched a good deal of the testimony of that David Hull. He is the guy that was with SBI at the time. He's since been promoted, got promoted last March. It's very hard for me. I get it. This is just a preliminary and this is just like the dress rehearsal. I get that. But these first two cops that took the stand, I'm having a hard time with, because maybe I'm jaded. Maybe I've just watched too many trials where I've seen cops like manufacture evidence. I've watched cops put an inverted video with many minutes missing, spliced together, put it into a trial and play it for a jury. So when someone goes, yeah, we captured all the CCTV and here's this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, I got a lot of questions. And when I said I need to see experts, I need to see experts. I need to see, forensic video experts who we've had 35 people analyze this from 117 different angles. And here's the data we came up with. I have a hard time with David Hull because he does this whole like, yeah, I just knew. Probably was about an hour after the incident. Charlie Kirk's already been rushed to the hospital and probably, I think at that time, already declared dead. So David Hull arrives and he is very quickly put in charge of the scene, right? But when on cross-examination, when he's asked questions, he's like, were you aware of this? Who was this person? Did they rope off this section? Had they cleared this section? He's like, yeah, I believe so. Oh, I'm not so sure. Well, I don't know that answer. Like there was probably 3 times while he was testifying where I was like, but you're in charge. You're in charge. So I would think as soon as you arrive, you'd be like, tell me where we're at. What areas have been cleared? What areas have been searched? Like you would know all of this. And then when they talk about that other bullet that was found on the other rooftop, that random bullet, he's like, yeah, I believe that was accounted for. And she goes, but what was it? And he's like, it was just accounted for. Whose was it? It was an officer. It was accounted for. Like he's kind of doing this, trust me. Next question. I struggle with both him and Officer Bagley because I feel like they're bullshitting us. And they're doing this whole like, trust me, I got many years doing this. I've been doing this a long time. I know what I'm talking about. And we're just supposed to go, oh, okay, and move on to the next question. And I'm like, I'm hungry for more. So he did say, we believe that's his car because it has distinct tires. Okay. Want to elaborate on that? And no one ever asks him to elaborate on that. Like, what kind of tires? Where did he get them? When did he buy them? Like, I was hoping for this.
They're the same model and size tire. Michelin model XGV, size 75R, 14-inch wheel. I also took a sample of the rubber from the rear tires of the defendant's Buick and analyzed that too.
What kind of equipment did you use to find this out?
I used a Hewlett-Packard 5710A dual-column gas chromatograph with flame analyzation detectors.
And I just got, moving along to the next question. Yeah, I liked the DNA witness. She was very clear. She used data. And although she was giving her opinion, she was giving her opinions on what the data reads. So her job is to run these tests, look at the results of the test, and then make a determination as to if it's a match or not. So she's able to say that that towel that they found, the towel that wrapped around the gun that was found in the woods, which they are alleging is the murder weapon, the towel that's wrapped around it had both Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs' DNA on it. Now this makes sense because the two men lived together. And so it makes sense that if this was a towel from their home, they had both used it once upon a time or touched it. Now, I think the percentages, it was a higher percentage match for Tyler Robinson than it was for Lance Twiggs, but both of their DNA was on it. And then she said she tested a screwdriver, which had Tyler Robinson's DNA on it. And this screwdriver was allegedly found on top of the Losi building. But again, Officer Bagley was the one that found it. No proof that that's where he found it. He just says he went up there and found a screwdriver, but the batteries were out on his body cam. Mind you, this was only an hour and a half out into his shift. So it's weird that his body cam battery would already be dead, but whatever. But I also would think, and again, I'm not a cop, but I watch them on TV. And I feel like at some point when you see evidence, and your body cam battery is dead, you would, even if you had to pull out your own personal cell phone, wouldn't you take pictures of the scene? Wouldn't you go, whoa, let's rope this off. I just found some evidence, and take pictures just because your spidey instincts would tell you this is something real. But we don't have any of that. We have Officer Bagley going, yep, I saw it. I couldn't give you the description of the person standing 2 feet to my left when I found it, but I found it. Now, as you look at those videos that Hull played, you know, there is what it looks like Tyler Robinson arrived, parked his car, got out, walked across campus. He did say that he met with people from TPUSA. And based on what the internet is exploding, it kind of makes it sound like none of us knew that fact before. So who was he meeting with? Where's that person? Why didn't that person testify? Yes, he came in, I talked to him, here's what he was wearing, here's what his mood looked like, here's where we spoke. Like, why is there no surveillance he met with somebody and we don't know that. We don't know who it is. They haven't been named. Maybe they will be a witness in the actual trial. Then we have a gentleman, Agent Davis from the SBI. He takes the stand yesterday. I only just watched part of yesterday's, but he talks about how he was there when Tyler Robinson turned himself in. So he wasn't there, I'm sorry. Tyler Robinson turned himself in. Davis got word. They all jumped on a plane. They flew down to St. George. And we see a video of what looks like the back of what could be Tyler Robinson. It matches the outfit of the guy who was walking in the parking garage on the previous video, but he never turns around. We don't see his face on this camera, but we're believed to believe that's him because it matches the outfit of the guy in the parking garage. He tells us that Tyler's mom was interviewed, his dad was interviewed, and then the family friend whose name is Mike Mitchell, he was interviewed. They were all interviewed. They each got 2 officers in the room. One's an agent with SBI, one is with FBI. So those officers are all in there. So the FBI is all over this as well. There's one agent in each room with everybody that's talked to. Davis himself is the one that questions Tyler Robinson. Then we have a really long debate about the videos and the admission of Tyler's interview plus Lance Twiggs' 2 interviews with police. Now, Lance Twiggs, he's the roommate. He has been interviewed twice. So he spoke to the St. George Police Department on September 12th. Then he was interviewed again this past April 20th of 2026. During that interview, it was made clear to him that he would have use immunity. If you're not sure what that is where they're basically saying, give us a statement, and then we cannot use what you give us in the statement against you. That does not mean he can't be prosecuted later. Like, he's not being given full immunity. He's given use immunity, which means whatever he tells us today, he's allowed to say, here's what happened, and then he can't get in trouble for the stuff he's telling us. This interview is recorded, say video and audio, but then there was a big debate about how much of this should be played in open court right now during the preliminary and what should be postponed till later. So this went on a very, very long time. I'm so tired of all of these debates. They should have just closed this preliminary so we don't have to go through this every day. But the judge came back and said that it is allowed to be seen. So we're going to be able to, maybe it's already played, I don't know, I'm a day behind, but it's allowed to be played in the courtroom except for on page 19, it's from minute 32 and 55 seconds until 35 and 48 seconds. So about 13 minutes that the judge is not allowed to be played. Everything else can come in. So that's where we stand. I'll keep watching testimony and keep coming back with more.